Hey there, fellow tennis junkies. Today we're going to be reviewing the Head Graphene 360 Plus Extreme Tour. This racket comes in a 16x19 open string pattern, coming in at 305 grams unstrung or 10.8 ounces. And really the big selling point for this racket is the spin grommet technology, which I'll show you a clip right now. Basically, up here at the top of the hoop, the grommets have been stretched out a little bit. That's kind of how it looks. And really it's supposed to help those mains be able to move. So whenever you hit that top spin shot or that slice shot, whatever, it's gonna be able to help those mains move some more and ideally create tons more spin. I decided to go ahead and try this racket out just because of how different it is from what I would typically play with. So this is my current racket that I play with, the Yonex V-Core Tour 97. It's 330 grams unstrung or 11.6 ounces. And it comes in a 16x20 tighter string pattern. Especially around the top of the hoop here, it has a really tight grasp on the string. So in terms of spin potential, this racket is incredibly different, and I was really interested to see if I could notice the difference with the spin grommet technology. So I'm going to show you some clips of me rallying with a friend and playing some match points being played out and that sort of thing, and I'll kind of give you my more in-depth review there. Here I have some rallies and match play with my friend Liam, so you guys can see the racket in action while I give my review. I made the decision to review the Head Extreme Tour because of my prejudice toward the previous line. I briefly playtested the last generation of this Extreme and was really disappointed in almost every aspect of the racket. I very rarely saw it out on public tennis courts or in any sort of tournament that I played in, and I feel like that was just because of how little control that you could really have with the racket. But when this new version came out, I realized that many higher level players started to pick up the stick. I started to see it on my public courts and in tournaments I was playing in. The last version had a heavier version, head dubbed the Pro. My issue with this Pro was the 100 square inch head size. Playing with those bigger head sizes feels clunky and too overpowered for my game. This racket itself is made for spin and power, so having that 100 head size really didn't help anything. It kind of just felt like a cannon that you couldn't control. When I heard that Head had released the Extreme Tour in a 98 square inch head size version, my ears instantly perked up. As I began to play more and more, I shied away from that 100 head size and went more into the 98 and 97 range, so this racket actually came onto my radar. I think this was a big reason why I actually enjoyed this playtest compared to the last version. Now I want to go ahead and talk about the main pros that I noticed while getting to play with this racket. The most notable pro for this Extreme Tour was easily the amount of spin I could get. The spin grommet technology really came into play on my forehands and more specifically on my serves/kick serves. I felt as though my serves kicked much more than normal, and I really just had a blast getting to force my opponent off the court with minimal effort. Another pro for me was the comfort/plush feeling the racket provided. I feel like I could put a really stiff poly to help out with the control and not have any sort of arm issues like I would with other frames. I feel as though many rackets try to achieve this plush feeling by making the frame more flexible, kind of like the Clash, but this Extreme Tour really doesn't feel overly flexible. This racket also provided incredible power on all shots. It felt as though I was firing cannons without much effort. This is sort of a pro and con for me. The power. Now I want to go ahead and talk about the cons and just the things I didn't really like about this racket whenever I was playtesting it. My number one con with this frame was easily the weight. While Head uses the term tour, I expected heavier than a 305 gram unstrung weight. This seems to be a common complaint among many playtesters of the Extreme Tour. I personally like to use about 315 to 330 unstrung weight, so this frame was just too light for me. If I were to switch over to the frame, I would definitely add some weight to the 12 o'clock position and maybe even to the 3 and 9 position. That 12 o'clock position weight that I could add would really help to add some more stability on those higher spun shots. Another major con for me was the stability. My hitting partner for this playtest hits very low, flat, and high-powered balls. On those shots that came at me with tons of pace, the racket felt kind of flimsy. Especially when he would go for the bigger serves, my returns tended to either be all or nothing. If I went for a neutral ball to just get a point started, the racket felt like paper. I do think adding some lead to that 3 and 9 position would really help to stabilize the frame, specifically on returns. The type of player I would suggest this frame to is going to be the players in that USTA 4.0 plus or UTR 5.5 plus range. Physically bigger players are going to struggle with the lower weight, but the frame will provide tons of spin and power without sacrificing any comfort. Many quote-unquote senior high-level players will definitely benefit a lot from this frame. I would not recommend this frame to have big hitters. Controlling the power from this racket is going to be difficult. The bigger hitters may enjoy it with some added weight though. That concludes my review of the Head Graphene 360 Plus Extreme Tour. For the last bit of this video, I'm just going to include some extra match footage I got with Liam. If this review helped you in any way, make sure to give the video a like and comment any experiences you have had with the Head Extreme line. Thanks for watching.